Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Lies We Left podcast. This is season 2, and this is our new platform. This was a big surprise.
Yay. Yay. I'm Erin.
And I'm Brooke.
Ashley.
And we are the sisters who have escaped trauma.
Well, not entirely.
Okay.
But
No, this was our great surprise. We decided that we kept hearing the complaint over and over again. We can't tell which sister is talking. So Erin had this great idea to take it to the video aspect.
Like all of my ideas, honestly.
You have brilliant ideas.
Brilliant.
So as you can see, we are down a sister who wanted to.
Well, our sister Rachel is not going to be present for every episode. She made the hard decision, but a decision that was right for her and her family. She needs to step away from the podcast and pursue her ambitions. She's very much into her artwork, and that's a form of therapy for her, and she just wasn't able to do it that much. And she, one of her passions is to be a great mom, and she really felt like she needed to be more at home with her kids, or wherever she's at with her kids, and just be more present. And yeah, so she's going to be coming on the podcast. She hasn't left for good. She'll be joining us every now and then, but she definitely won't be here for every other episode. We're really sad about it because she's our sister and we made this podcast together. But if there is anyone who has any questions for Rachel, like wants to ask any questions for future podcasts, like definitely let us know what kind of questions you want to ask her. And then whenever she comes on the podcast, maybe we can do like a Q&A with Rachel, or, because she has such a different insight than we do. And, we just love our sisters. So,
and the thing with the new platform that we're doing is not only are we doing this like in person and we're doing it together, but one of the other things is that we're going to be having a lot more guests this time around, and guests will either be joining us either in person or via Zoom. So if you're interested in being a guest, reach out to us and, we'll kind of walk through that process and see what happens. Another thing with our new platform is that we're wanting to do shorter episodes because we realize that a lot of the content that we're talking about is super intense. And sometimes it can be really hard to binge, an hour long plus episodes. So we are going to be doing shorter episodes.
and we're also going to be doing community,
Which, y'all, I'm the most excited about that, I think.
I think it's going to be fun. So what it's going to look like is we haven't really decided how often we're going to do it, but we're going to, meet up at a coffee house or wherever. And if anyone wants to just come and talk, we aren't professionals. We're not therapists. So it's not like we're going to be giving you any advice or anything, but it's really just a support group because there is so much trauma, and sometimes therapy isn't accessible to other people for many different reasons, finances, time, maybe, I don't know. But it helps to know that you aren't alone. Or maybe you are in therapy, maybe you are doing healing work, but you feel alone, because it does feel very alone. Maybe you don't have siblings that are understanding of your healing journey. Maybe you don't have family members or friends who understand your healing journey. And it's good to just surround yourself with people who are on a healing journey so that you don't feel alone.
I think that we had decided that we wanted to do once a month, and preferably like a coffee house or something to that extent, and just kind of extending on what Erin said, not only like a support system. I think we've talked about in previous episodes how if you Google like, mother on daughter incest, there's just not a lot of resources or help that comes up. I think Erin and I were saying that we found the same exact article because there just is nothing out there.
And it was from many years ago too.
Yeah, it wasn't even like recent. So to be able to build that support system and just to know that you're not alone, hopefully that alone can be helpful. So yeah, looking forward to that.
It's been quite a long break, okay? most other podcasts, if they take a break, it might be like a month or so. We said we were going to take a break, and this break actually really turned into like a whole summer / now we're into, well,
it was like
supposed to be
five
fall
or
in
6
Texas.
months. 5 months?
No, it was
okay,
supposed to just be
so
3.
I'm
I
talking
actually-
about from the time we stopped recording from the last session. I think it's 5 months.
No, it's not 5 months, y'all. I looked it up, and
was
when
May.
I posted for episode 18, it was in August. So it wasn't really that long. I think it just feels like it's been
No,
super-
hold on. We ended in May,
Anyway,
right?
Anyway, our break is over. Podcast burnout is a thing. Oh my gosh. This last year, that really burnt me out. That was tough emotionally to get through.
I don't think.
Huh?
I don't.
What did you say?
You mean this year? You said last year really burnt me out.
Yeah, because we started last year. So I'm
The whole
counting
shebang.
The whole shebang.
We didn't actually start
She
recording.
Oh
though.
my
She
gosh.
bang.
Please
Oh.
stop.
Baby. Sorry.
Oh my God. What is going on?
Sorry, when I
Anyway,
said shebang,
we
I
had a
just got
long
in my head.
break. Let's recap how our summer went. My gosh. Aaron, I'll let you go
Okay.
first.
So this summer, bam. I'm like, okay, anyways. Okay, so I'm taking you back to the beginning of the summer, before summer. Okay. This is spring. Okay. And I am just filled with anxiety. I have so much anxiety. I'm having daily panic attacks, multiple panic attacks a day. I just, I cannot function well. I'm taking 2 different anxiety medications. I'm taking insomnia medication. I'm doing a whole bunch of things to try to sleep. It's just not working. So I finally taken FMLA from my job at CPS, Family Medical Leave of Absence, for anyone who didn't know what that term is. And it started out, I was going to just, do it for a few weeks. And I think I was like, okay, I'm going to take the full amount of time that the state is allowing me to take. So I did that. And within, I want to say like a week or 2 weeks, I stopped having daily panic attacks. I eventually was able to wean myself off of both anxiety medications. And I really had to, this was hard for me. I had to decide, what was going on with my life to make me that stressed. Well, lo and behold, it was working for CPS. It wasn't something that I could do anymore. And it was very hard for me to make that decision because I did like working for CPS. I did like doing what I did. Yeah, there were some really hard things. But I liked it. I liked knowing that the kids knew I was going to be there for them. But I had to take a look at myself and realize my body is literally shutting down. My body is not okay with this. So I quit CPS. And that was in the summer. I think midsummer that I decided that. And yeah, just doing a lot of work with myself. I started doing DID coaching through Bride Ministries. When did I start with them?
Oh.
Was that before? I can't remember when I started.
It was shortly after you put
I think it was in the summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was in the summertime. And I've been doing that, been working on, healing. I'm not completely healed or anything, but been doing that. Being at home with my boys was really fun during the summer. I was able to...
You moved? You bought a house?
Well, I moved in March. So I moved to to a different city, bought a house. We moved out of the fifth wheel trailer that we renovated. And yeah, so a lot has happened. I guess things that I've been learning through this break is I've been learning more about God and the things I view him as, how I view him, and the lies that I have believed about God, like what he thinks about me, which were never good things. And I've just been working on that and my relationship with Jesus, just hearing his voice more, and honestly working with my body, like just trying to do the work of realizing that my body is my own. It is her own person, if that makes sense. Like, we are body, soul, and spirit. I believe that.
It's your own entity.
Yeah, and how I have really damaged her with what I have told her who she is. Oh, you're too fat. You're kind of bloated right now. If only you had a bigger butt. Oh, if only, I don't like oh, you look so tired. All of these negative thoughts that I told myself. It was like I was telling it to another person, but I never viewed it that way.
Yeah.
Until the work that I've been doing. So really just trying to like connect with my body and listen to what she's saying. If she's uncomfortable in a situation, acknowledge that and make her safe. If that means removing yourself from a situation. So I think those are the things that I've been learning over the summer.
What are you most excited for this season?
For the podcast? Yeah. Having more guests. I really like hearing people's stories, and that's what I'm really excited about, is hearing people's stories, because I can't tell you how many times I've listened to other people's stories and it's resonated with me and it's encouraged me to pursue healing, or it's kind of unlocked doors for me in my own life. So I'm very excited about having people being able to share and share their story and to have their voice be heard.
After you, Ciceroo.
Let's see. So last year, September 16th, I was in a bad car wreck and I got a concussion. And so anyway, it never really healed. And towards the middle of us recording, I just hit so many walls. I had to write a lot of notes, would forget things mid-sentence. There wasn't healing there. So I started looking up inflammation of the brain, and I went to a Chinese herbalist doctor, and he was wonderful. He did a body scan, did some blood work, got some other stuff done, and he looks at my results, and basically you've got green over here, and then orange or yellow, orange, and red. And red is the danger zone. All my kidney levels, liver, adrenaline, everything was all in the red zone. And he saw it, and he was like, "Sweetheart, what happened to you?" And I was like, "Well, let me tell you a little bit," and told him and what had gone through my life. And he said, "Okay, so basically the best way I can explain this, you are in constant fight or flight. Your adrenals are shot. You will have a heart attack if you continue this way. We have to make your body feel safe." And he said, "What do you do for exercise? What do you do for this?" And I told him things that we do, that Stephen and I do. And he was like, "Okay, I need you to stop all of that, because your body doesn't understand when you're wrestling with your husband that it's not a rape happening, because your body is stuck in extreme fight or flight." And I said, "Oh, okay, that actually makes sense." And he told me to stop exercising and doing everything I was doing, and he even said, "Don't do yoga." He was like very adamant, "Do not do yoga." He said, "Do Tai Chi." And I was like, Tai Chi? I was like, okay. So I've been doing Tai Chi 3 times a week. And then he put me on a gut healing, non-inflammatory way of life. It's not a diet. It's the way I eat now. And the brain fog was slowly getting better. I got a Rife machine from Matthew Rife. That kind of transformed everything. There's different sequences and frequencies that will shatter a disease. So a disease in your body resonates at a certain frequency. Well, there's also a frequency that will shatter that disease. And it's very interesting. Can't wait to see what all the hateful comments are going to be about that. how only God can heal you. But anyway, so there was that. And then I started getting into bride ministries and started taking the assessments and getting spiritually deliverance in some areas. And you had a question?
Sorry, really quick. I don't think our listeners know what Bride Ministries is. I don't think
we
have we dove into that?
Well, we've listed the books on our resources, the prayer books. If you're interested, they can dive in. I don't think.
Yeah, Bride Ministries is maybe a resource
Yeah.
for people who have been through satanic ritual abuse,
Programming,
and basically DID. People will come to them because they're DID, which is dissociative identity disorder. So that's what Bride Ministry is. It is a religious organization. It is Christian based. So there's that.
So I got a lot of freedom from that. I think when I recorded my episode 4, I left it off with saying, you girls asked a question, what is something that you will always struggle with? And I think at the time I said, I don't think I'll ever like my body. And that, after doing all 6 assessments, that's no longer the case. I actually really like my body. It's coming together. The weight is falling off. And I don't think people understand when you get healing, because I went to heal just for a concussion. And it ended up being a mind, body, spirit, soul. And it was more holistically with the W versus H. And I started seeing there was joy there. No longer afraid when Stephen goes out of town. There was an extreme fear that he would die. When Stephen would go out of town for work, I had to have all the lights on in the house, my gun by my bed, and would not sleep with the lights off. And now I can do all that. So the fear is gone. Trying to think what else. There's so much that has happened. I feel like a totally different person, and it's very freeing. There was something else that has changed, and I don't remember. Help me out.
Rife machine, Tai Chi, bride. I thought that was it.
I guess that's it.
I mean, you've been helping others.
Yeah. I have been very passionate about, because I want people to experience what the freedom I've had. And I've been working with some people and just helping them go through some healing. And I can't wait what the future holds. Like, this is incredible. I love this. This is the part of life I'm so excited about.
And as you asked Aaron, what are you most excited for this season?
Specifically, there are 3 guests that I don't want to ruin, but I am so excited. One is the guest you're bringing on, and a guest I'm bringing on, and a guest we all 3 are bringing on. I know that's really ominous, right? But I'm really excited for our guest lineup. I love the vision you guys have. Stephen and I are probably going to be leaving out of state and moving next year, possibly. And at that point, I'll be leaving the podcast, and I think it's in great hands. And you guys have a strong vision of community and reaching out to people. And I'm really excited with our interior design skills. Like, this was so much fun to put together.
I'm sure there's someone who's like, that's not that great, but whatever.
Well,
Oh, this summer. Buckle up.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
Okay, well, I guess it really, there are a few things that happened this summer. Pretty much my whole story about what happened to our house. We just had several things happen, one thing after another. The first being a tornado in our front yard. That was so much fun. My gosh. Anyway, that tornado came, and Colin and I and our animals had to get in our Harry Potter closet that we have in our house. I thought I was going to die. My gosh. It was so scary. I don't think you'll understand how scared.
You called me. You were on the phone as the tornado's coming through your yard. And I was like, Ashley, get off the phone. Get in the closet. Where's Colin? She was like, he's trying to get the chickens. I was like, forget the chickens. Get in the basement. Go, go.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy, but I'm obviously here. Colin's still here. But that tornado, it blew off the corner part of our roof. And this was all, what month was this? I don't remember what month it was, but regardless, we had that happen. And then we had our AC go out. We had our fridge go out. Like, we just kept having all these things happen back to back. And it was just really irritating. Aside from those things happening, I started really wanting to dive in more to my self-esteem, because I've been doing a lot of like work with God in general, and I've done a lot of work with DID, but I haven't done a lot as far as like what I actually believe about myself and who I am, and like what is my identity, and how do I kind of differentiate the two. And so I ordered this self-esteem book. And if anybody's friends with me on Facebook that's listening to this, it's the book that I posted on there. And it's been super helpful because I've been doing it alone. And the whole book is basically just helping you see yourself differently. And I just didn't realize how poor my self-esteem was. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know that it was that bad. So, and then like dealing with not just the intrusive thoughts, but just the general thoughts of like not feeling good enough and how automatic those thoughts come in, and learning how to kind of combat all of those thoughts has been super helpful. And I think I got my horse Buddy right before the summer. I think I got him in April, right after my birthday, and he's been a lot of fun. Savannah has actually been helping me train him, and that's been super fun.
Savannah was a previous guest.
Yes.
And my sister-in-law.
Yes,
yeah.
that too.
She's been phenomenal in helping me with Buddy, and that's just been so much fun. He's been very therapeutic, and, he has a lot of fear, and trying to help him work on that, much like myself, I feel like. And
You guys get to heal together.
We do. That's what it feels like.
That's awesome.
I would say one thing that I am super stoked about this season is really community outreach. That's probably, I don't remember whose idea that was. Maybe it was mine.
It was yours. It wasn't mine.
Yeah, I think it was mine. I really wanted something that could allow us to be present with others, because I think one of the conclusions that all of us came to is that it's easy to get behind a microphone, and you're not behind a camera, and a voice recording of you essentially is just getting uploaded. Like, that's super easy for a lot of people to do. But with the topics that we're talking about, we really want to encourage the vulnerability and encourage people to come forward and to feel comfortable talking about these things, because it's just not normalized. It just isn't. And we need to be talking about these things more. And so we really want to build that support system. And so I'm most passionate about like doing the meetups and getting to know people. And even if you don't really want to share your story with us, you just want a support system, that's awesome. Or if you just want a new friend, if you choose to be friends with this crazy bunch, then, that's cool. But we're really not that crazy. I mean, sometimes we're pretty crazy, but
sometimes we're crazy enough to do this and to let
Yeah.
people know that we were sexually abused by our mother and then all that. So I feel like there is a sense of craziness to that.
Yeah. But we're super excited for this season, and we're really excited for our continued support system from y'all that we get. You know, that's super. I mean, we couldn't do this without y'all. We wouldn't have a purpose for doing this if it wasn't for everyone kind of coming forward or privately, you know, reaching out to us and letting us know certain things.
I think another reason why we decided to do this recording the video is because, like Ashley said, it is very easy to get behind a, you know, talk some shit, you know, behind a microphone, not be recorded visually. But we wanted to express a sense of vulnerability by us showing ourselves, by us, you know, we ask y'all to do the hard, or encourage you to do the work of healing that is hard, can be hard. And we just want to give you comfort and hopefully knowledge, knowing that we're still trying to do that. And, you know, some of us had some fears about doing this, you know, recording visually. But here we are. And we're just trying to meet y'all and meet ourselves and show ourselves, I feel like, that we can do hard things.
I had a thought and it disappeared.
Oh my God.
I saw it in your eyes. I was like, whoops, she had it.
Yeah, you look
Whoop.
like you were about to talk and then it just went blank.
It's what-
Oh my gosh.
If you have any ideas or if you have suggestions for content that you want us to cover, please let us know.
Yes.
Part of what is hard about what we're talking about is it's kind of taboo, and not everyone wants to be open and vulnerable about the things that have happened to them in the past. And so we're kind of just going off of our own creative minds and things that we see, things that we feel like we should talk about. But if you have any ideas of what we should talk about, please let us know, because we love feedback, even if it's negative feedback. All right.
So tune in for future episodes that we're going to have. I think that's about wraps it up.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Lies We Live podcast.